Chapter 6, The Lesson on Power and Ranks. The battle against the monster had ended in victory, but the aftermath left the students of the school in a state of awe. They had all just fought a beast together, revealing their abilities and discovering how truly powerful they were. Even in the heat of battle, Delaynie had barely processed just how much his life had changed. The next day, as the class gathered in their usual room, Deya-sensei stood at the front, a look of solemnity on his face. "All right, class," Deya-sensei said, his voice calm but firm. "We've just experienced a demonstration of your powers, but it's time for a deeper understanding. Today, we're going to talk about the ranking system of abilities and why these classifications matter." Deya-sensei's eyes scanned the room, his gaze settling on Delaynie for a moment before turning back to the class. As you all know, there are different ranks for abilities. These ranks define the strength of your power, and each person's rank plays a role in how they interact with the world around them. Let's start at the lowest and work our way up. C rank. This is the lowest rank, and truth be told, most people fall into this category. Abilities are basic, often useful in everyday life, but not particularly strong in combat situations. If you're C rank, your power is something that can be enhanced with training, but it's not game-changing. Delaynie felt his stomach drop slightly. He had been a C rank student not too long ago, and the memories of those days still lingered in the back of his mind. Next, we have B rank, Deya-sensei continued. These abilities are less common and more effective in specific scenarios. A B rank ability could be useful in a variety of combat situations, but they still have limitations. Several students nodded, recognizing their own positions in the ranking system. Hailey-senpai smirked, her muscles flexing as she was clearly proud of her own B rank strength. "Now, A rank," Deya-sensei said, his tone growing more serious. A rank powers are formidable. These individuals can hold their own against most opponents and are seen as elites in society. Their abilities can make them top-tier fighters or experts in their fields. A few students exchanged glances, clearly proud of their status. Emma-chan's eyes lit up as she leaned forward slightly. She had always been proud of her rebellious spirit, but her power was something to be reckoned with. "Then we have S rank," Deya-sensei said, and the room seemed to pause. S rank abilities are rare, bordering on legendary. These individuals possess power that can change the course of history. You can think of S rankers as the heroes of society, the ones who defend against threats that could destroy entire cities. "Now, SS rank," he continued, his eyes briefly flashing to Delaynie. "This is where things start to get truly insane. SS rank abilities are world-changing, capable of destruction on an unimaginable scale. There are very few people who even achieve this rank, and they are often sought after by governments and organizations for their abilities." The class was quiet as Deya-sensei's gaze turned to Delaynie again. "And then," he said slowly, "we have the newly created SSSS rank." The room seemed to hold its breath. This is a rank that has never been seen before, a rank that was only recently established after Delaynie-kun's, well, unexpected rise in power. Delaynie shifted in his seat, feeling the weight of everyone's eyes on him. Delaynie-kun's healing ability is so powerful that it transcends all existing classifications. He doesn't just heal wounds or injuries. He can heal entire areas, reverse damage on a cellular level, and even reset entire environments to their natural state. This new rank, the SSS rank, is a recognition of just how unique and world-altering his power truly is. Some students nodded thoughtfully, while others whispered to each other, trying to process the magnitude of Delaynie's abilities. But not everyone was so impressed. Chapter 7, The Mocking Voice of Doubt. As the lesson continued, there was a shift in the mood when a voice broke through the murmurs of the class. Lilli-senpai, the girl who always seemed to be amused by the darker aspects of life, crossed her arms and let out a short, sarcastic laugh. "So, you're telling me," she said, her tone dripping with mockery, "that Delaynie-kun went from a lowly C rank to a god-tier S rank? Just like that?" She snapped her fingers for emphasis. "I guess it's true what they say. Only the weak get stronger when given an absurdly overpowered ability." The room fell silent, and Delaynie felt a sting of embarrassment at Lily's words. "Is that supposed to be funny?" Emma-chan's voice cut through the tension, her eyes flashing in anger. "He saved everyone, you know. He didn't ask for this power." Lily only chuckled, unfazed. "Oh, I'm not saying he didn't save everyone," she said with a shrug. "I just think it's kind of funny that a C rank could suddenly become the strongest. Makes you wonder if the whole system is a joke, doesn't it? Power doesn't just fall from the sky, after all." Hailey-senpai let out a loud laugh, punching Lily lightly on the shoulder. "You just like stirring up trouble, don't you, Lily? We all know Delaynie-kun's power isn't just luck. He worked for it. He didn't just wake up one day with his power fully unlocked." "But it did happen like that, didn't it?" Lily pressed, her eyes glinting with amusement. "One moment, he's average, and the next, he's the new top dog." Delaney's cheeks reddened, his fists clenching slightly. "I didn't ask for this power," he said quietly, his voice barely above a whisper. "It just happened, and now I have to live with it." There was a brief silence before Ariel-senpai spoke up, her voice calm but firm. "Lilli-senpai, maybe you should consider that not all powers come from effort alone. Some of us are born with incredible gifts, and some of us must grow into them. But that doesn't mean those gifts are any less valuable." Lily raised an eyebrow but didn't respond, choosing instead to glance away. Deya-sensei took this moment to step in, his voice authoritative. Enough, class. Lilli-senpai is entitled to her opinion, but let's remember that this is about understanding each other's strengths, not belittling them. Delaynie-kun's power is indeed rare, and his journey has just begun. The important thing is what he does with it. Chapter 8. The Path Ahead. After the lesson, the class was left to discuss their ranks and powers in smaller groups. Delaynie found himself talking with Emma-chan and Ariel-senpai, both of whom had their own unique abilities. I'm still a B rank, Emma-chan admitted, her expression slightly frustrated but determined. But I can control fire, and when I get angry enough, it's like I'm surrounded by a blazing aura. I guess I can work with that. Ariel-senpai smiled softly. I'm an S rank, she said quietly, and I can manipulate light. It's mostly for defense, but I've been training to use it offensively as well. Delaynie nodded, trying to wrap his mind around everything. I don't know what to do with all this power, he confessed. I wasn't prepared for any of it. You'll figure it out, Delaynie, Emma-chan said, nudging him with a grin. Just don't let it go to your head, okay? Yeah, no pressure, Ariel added with a wink. You're the strongest one here, after all. As they walked through the hallways together, Delaynie couldn't shake the feeling that the road ahead would only get more complicated. With new powers, new enemies, and his heart caught between two people, he knew that the future held far more than just battles. The real test was learning how to wield his power, face his doubts, and decide where his true loyalty and would lie. Chapter 9. Love in Shadows and Unveiled Powers. The days following Deya-sensei's lesson on ranks were tense. Delaynie-kun couldn't shake Lilli-senpai's mocking words. She had always been a wild card, laughing at the face of danger, drawn to things most people would find horrifying. But there was something about her that made him uneasy. A darkness in her curiosity that lingered. After class one day, Delaynie found himself cornered by Lilli-senpai in the hallway. She leaned casually against the lockers, her arms crossed, a sly smile playing on her lips. Delaynie-kun, she said, her tone teasing but with an edge of seriousness. You've got all this power now, but there's something I've been wondering. He sighed, already bracing for one of her unsettling remarks. What is it, Lilli-senpai? She stepped closer, her voice dropping into a near whisper. Your healing ability? Have you ever thought about how far it could go? What if it's not just about healing? What if you could reverse life and cause death instead? Delaney's eyes widened, his breath hitching. What are you talking about? Lilli-senpai's smile grew. Oh, don't act so innocent. Powers like yours don't come without consequences. Maybe there's a part of your ability that's more destructive. I mean, think about it. To heal something, you must understand how to destroy it first, right? That's insane, Delaynie said, stepping back. I'd never. Oh, I'm not saying you would, she interrupted, her eyes glinting with mischief. I'm just saying it would be interesting to find out. Her voice softened, almost tender. And besides, Delaynie-kun, I'd love to see you use that power. For science, of course. Nothing personal. Her words sent a chill down his spine. Was she joking, or was there something deeper in her twisted fascination? He couldn't tell. But as he looked into her eyes, he caught a flicker of something unexpected, vulnerability, almost like affection. It was gone in an instant, replaced by her usual smirk. Lilli-senpai, he said carefully, why do you care so much about my powers? For a moment, her mask slipped. She looked away, her expression unreadable. Let's just say, I'm curious about what makes you special, Delaynie-kun. Then, with a wink, she added, don't disappoint me, okay? As she walked away, Delaynie was left standing in the hallway, his thoughts spinning. What if she was right? What if his power wasn't just about healing? Chapter 10. Livvy-san and Travis-kun's moment. Meanwhile, Livvy-san and Travis-kun were hanging out by the vending machines near the gym, their usual spot to escape the chaos of school life. Man, that battle the other day was wild, Travis-kun said, leaning against the machine with his usual relaxed demeanor. I mean, I didn't really do much, but watching everyone go all out, that was kind of cool. Livvy-san groaned, kicking the ground. Cool? Are you serious, Travis-kun? I totally flunked my math test because of all that nonsense. Now my parents are gonna freak. Tests are overrated, he said with a shrug. It's not like grades define you, Livvy-san. She rolled her eyes but couldn't help smirking. Easy for you to say. You're so chill about everything. How do you even do that? Travis-kun grinned. Secret technique. Don't care too much about stuff. Life's easier that way. Livvy laughed, a rare moment of genuine amusement. You're hopeless, you know that? Maybe, he said, chuckling. But at least I'm not stressed out all the time. For a moment, they just stood there, the usual banter easing the tension from recent events. Livvy didn't say it out loud, but she appreciated Travis's laid-back attitude. It was a nice change from her own chaotic life. Chapter 11. The Truth About Landon-chan. Later that afternoon, the students gathered on the rooftop for some fresh air. Landon-chan was sitting on the edge, looking unusually quiet. Delaynie-kun noticed and walked over. Landon-chan, you okay? Delaynie asked, sitting beside him. For a moment, Landon didn't answer. Then he sighed, his usual carefree demeanor replaced with something heavier. Delaynie-kun, I've got something to say, and it's not going to be easy. Delaynie frowned. What is it? Landon hesitated before speaking. I've been lying to everyone about being gay. Delaynie blinked, surprised. What do you mean? I'm not gay, Landon admitted, his voice low. I just said I was because, well, it felt easier. People stopped asking questions, stopped expecting things from me. It was like a shield, you know? Landon-chan, Delaynie started, but before he could say more, an explosion rocked the rooftop. A creature smaller than the demon they had faced before, but no less dangerous, appeared, snarling and ready to attack. The students scrambled to defend themselves, but this time, there was no time to prepare. Landon-chan acted without hesitation. He stepped in front of Delaynie, shielding him from the creature's attack. "I've lied about a lot, Delaynie-kun," he said, his voice steady despite the danger. "But I won't lie about this. I'm going to protect you, no matter what." The creature struck, its claws tearing through Landon's chest. He collapsed to the ground, blood pooling beneath him. "Landon-chan!" Delaynie cried, rushing to his side. Landon's breathing was shallow, but he managed a weak smile. "Guess I wasn't so chill after all, huh?" "Don't talk like that, I can heal you," Delaynie said, his hands glowing with the familiar light of his healing power. But something went wrong. As Delaynie poured his energy into Landon, a dark energy surged through him, unbidden. His hands glowed red instead of white, and Landon's body convulsed. "Delaynie-kun!" Ariel-senpai shouted, running to his side. "Stop! Something's wrong!" But Delaynie couldn't stop. The dark energy consumed him, and before anyone could react, Landon's body disintegrated into ash. The rooftop was silent. Delaynie stared at his hands, trembling. What did I do?"
Chapter 12, Death.
Deya-sensei arrived moments later, having sensed the disturbance. He looked at the scene, his face grim. "Delaynie-kun, it seems you've unlocked another part of your ability." Delaney's voice was barely a whisper. "What do you mean?" Deya-sensei knelt beside him. "Your healing power isn't just about life, Delaynie-kun. It's a dual-edged sword. If you can heal, you can also destroy. That's the cost of such a powerful ability." Ariel-senpai placed a comforting hand on Delaney's shoulder, her voice soft. "It wasn't your fault, Delaynie-kun. You didn't know." But Lilli-senpai, standing nearby, smiled faintly. "So it's true," she murmured to herself. "You do have the power to kill." Delaynie looked up at her, his eyes filled with anguish. "Is that what you wanted to see?" Her smile faltered, and for the first time she looked genuinely conflicted. I didn't think it would actually happen." The weight of Landon's death hung over them all. Delaynie-kun had unlocked a new power, but at what cost? And as he looked at the ashes of his friend, he realized that this was only the beginning of a far darker journey. To be continued. Chapter 9.